gentlemen, welcome to 2026. Welcome to KPW War Zone. It is I, Tapey Styles, calling the action right down the middle, flying solo as always. And to kick off tonight's festivities, why not get started with a three-way dance? A triple threat KPW Twitch Championship contender. One of these three men will be advancing to Ignition on January 31st to challenge Rey Lucion for the KPW Twitch Championship. We have the Pitbull K-Dogg, we have the Role Model Tape, and we have the Diamond Dragon Opulence getting ready to butt heads in a few short moments. But also to come later in the evening, we'll be seeing the Scrapyard Saint take on the Secret Weapon, another clash between Parliament and Bunker Hill as Hosway takes on Solo. Also still to come, tag team action as the now dethroned KPW, the now dethroned and now former KPW tag team champions, The Scheme, go up against Slarty, Shuko, the First Nation in tag team action. Also still to come, we will hear from the Monarch, the leader of Parliament, Oliver English. As we heard the man last week, he is making a daring attempt to try and reason with the man they call Ding later on tonight. But of course, the main event of the evening coming up in the main event, a KPW World Heavyweight Championship contender. Pierre Cinema fights his way towards Ignition, but he has the King of Stego Style awaiting him. Cory Sinclair is looking to safeguard his one-on-one world title shot here tonight.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody.
K-Dogg representing Bunker Hill, marching down by himself, not without his comrades, not without his cohorts. It has not been the best week for Bunker Hill, to say the least. Oppo, of course, still reeling from losing that American Championship to the 400-pound Papyrus. And the role model himself, the ever so arrogant, the ever so egotistical Tape, yet to capture any sort of singles gold here in KPW. Looking to kill two birds with one stone here tonight. It's not going to be an easy night for any of these three men. Opulence, the Diamond Dragon himself, looks to join the fight. Looks to stake his claim, punch his ticket to Ignition on the 31st. Fight. All three men rushing, leaping into action, looking for the quick advantage to kick off tonight's festivities. And the Pitbull K-Dogg immediately singling out Opulence as a potential weak link. Tape with the Hurricane Rana shoulders down by the knees. Fireman's carry from the Pitbull K-Dogg. Now it is Tape backed into a corner. These three men, they have 30 minutes to get the job done. 30 minutes to do whatever it takes to get to the end of the month with a Twitch championship opportunity against the masked Revolucion. Action spilling outside the ring. Tape all fired up. He's ready to put this to rest already. Tandem offense, a little bit of high-low on Opulence. And now his Tape singling out K-Dogg with those knees. Running Bulldog from Tape, Opulence. Letting the other two men sort it out. Looking to pick up the scraps here and play a bit more tactical.
1, 2,
K-Dogg looking to meet
3,
Tape on the outside here.
4, 5, 6, 7,
Big plancha down to the floor.
9, 10.
And whether or not Tape realized the danger he was in at that moment in time, he was able to get out of there in the nick of time. And he's just barely avoided that plancha courtesy of Opulence. He was just vicious with those knee strikes. Tape playing a bit dirty here. Gouging the eyes of K-Dogg. Slap belly to back from K-Dogg, trapping the arms in position. Opulence just had nowhere to go, nowhere to run, and nowhere to hide. Reverse DDT. Looking to move quick here. This could be over before it even begins. Gonzo bomb. And he's looking to make an example out of Opulence here. A second one. Back-to-back Gonzo bombs. And he's been in control of this bout from the moment the damn bell rang. Big roundhouse kick, taking down Opulence. A second one takes him down, but Opulence, he's not quitting just yet. There's no quit in the heart of the Diamond Dragon. K-Dogg getting caught in the crossfire. And I wonder what has to be playing in the minds of Tape and Opulence, knowing that K-Dogg can round up the troops at any moment. His cohorts in Bunker Hill. All for the support of Popcorn Poppy, of Solo, of Popo. At a moment's notice. Both Tape and Opulence, they know that they have to go it alone. They have to make the most out of their opportunities. They don't need to fall back on anybody else to hand that opportunity over to them. Big hip attack from Tape. Sidewalk slam countered by Opulence, catching the foot of Tape and just slamming him down into the mat with authority. Big standing clothesline from K-Dogg. And this has just been a rough night for the Diamond Dragon in particular. Tape trying to intervene with K-Dogg, gets a wrist crusher for his troubles. And Tape's foot touching that middle rope. It wasn't a bad idea for K-Dogg to hook the leg for extra leverage. But what he failed to consider is where that leg was going to end up going. How badly do these three men want a chance at the KPW Twitch champion? At first, we thought Bunker Hill was going to invest in trying to recapture the American Championship from the 400-pound monster of Manchester, Papyrus. But it appears that they are adapting the ideologies of the Wu-Tang Clan. They are learning to diversify their bonds. Torture rack neck breaker from Tape. And K-Dogg clears Tape out of the ring. He's looking to meet him on the outside.
4, 5, 6.
And K-Dogg gets a DDT for his troubles.
8, 9, 10.
Opulence going for another plancha once again. Nobody home, however.
13, 14, 15.
Tape trying to go for that high kick, the roundhouse. Opulence catches it, drills an elbow right into the joint of Tape's leg. Swinging neck breaker. And this is what makes these three-way dances, these triple threat bouts so enthralling. The temporary alliances that could form in the heat of the moment. Because at the end of the night, only one of these men are going to have the chance to march into ignition. Chandelier lock. Is Tape going to tap it? K-Dogg breaks up the hold. Whip it to the ropes. K-Dogg was looking to go for some springboard action. Tape makes the most out of that opportunity to clothesline him, bip him in the back of the head. Big knee lift from the Diamond Dragon himself. Decked out in a gold apparel here tonight, and he wants to add even more gold around his waist. Come January 31st, Opulence. This would be the first championship match he has ever received here in KPW. If he can pick up the big win here tonight. And a big side kick to the head of Tape in the corner. the role model's noggin almost certainly got rung there. Another swinging DDT from Tape. Tandem offense, double power bomb. I fetch chops. And what the hell is this? Assisted pop-up cutter. And they're still not done. Opulence got the worst out of that exchange for sure. All three of these men, they are marching into this bout, all with a 33% chance of victory. Another thing to consider is the 30-minute time limit that's in effect for all bouts underneath the War Zone banner. What could possibly happen? What would be the end result if we reach a time limit draw here tonight? We'll be able to qualify for ignition if it isn't any of these three men. Figure 4 from Opulence. Tape breaks it up. And not only is he looking to break it up, he's looking to break the neck of Opulence. And Opulence, you got a feel for this man. He's taking an absolute beating here tonight. The majority of these temporary alliances have come at the expense of Opulence. And he's been fighting like absolute hell to get this chance. They try to stay one step ahead of Opulence. Torture rack neck breaker once again. Another rope break coming against K-Dogg. Michinoku driver by Opulence. K-Dogg being right there to break up the pin. And what a vicious cycle this has been for the past 14 minutes and counting. Opulence continually on the receiving end of offense for both of these men. It's damn near a handicap bout. K-Dogg getting a taste of his own medicine. Opulence trying to tap out Tape with that reverse armbar. A little bit of Fujiwara action from the Diamond Dragon. Tape getting picked up from the supine position. Clothesline to the back, drop kick to the face. Just a clubbing sandwich of blows from K-Dogg and Opulence. Tape undoubtedly the freshest man in this bout right now. K-Dogg certainly one of the more resilient men on the KPW roster. He's had the taste of success here before in KPW, a former Twitch champion himself. He made his bones here, hot off the heels of an undefeated streak. And it's moves like that that could be enough to put him away. And he still gets back to his feet. What the hell is it gonna take to put any of these three men down? Sleeper hold cinched in by Opulence. K-Dogg pulls him away. Tape picking out his spots very carefully. Looking to exploit K-Dogg. Picking him up. Gonzo bomb on the pit bull. And now Opulence looking to pick him up himself. Roundhouse kick, Tape getting in the middle there. Picking out his spots, picking out his proverbial prey here in the middle of the ring.
2, 3, 4.
Regal Plex hooking the leg on top of that. And K-Dogg almost punched his ticket to ignition. A high angle he got on that Regal Plex on Tape. Hooking the leg, keeping the angle intact with that perfect bridging position to make the pinfall. The core strength it takes to execute that bridge, combining it with that suplex. And speaking of bridges, chicken wing suplex. K-Dogg very sneakily one of the most athletic men that we have on this roster. You've seen him go quite the distance just to obtain his goals. We've seen him win the tag team championships before just by himself. And given his ties to Bunker Hill, do you really want to make an enemy out of this man? Tape clearing Opulence through the ropes here. This could be a golden opportunity. He's got to move quick. Snap reverse DDT. Tiger suplex. And Opulence getting caught in the crossfire once again. This is not at all what Opulence was aiming for here tonight. He just wanted to pick up the scraps from these two and get as close to a night off as he possibly could. And this is Gonzo Bomb number 3. I don't know what the hell is going on with the vertebrae, the spinal cord of Opulence. But at this point, it's got to have the texture of linguine at this point. The way that he's been able to take these rough landings and then get back to his feet to keep fighting another day. I don't know how the hell he does it. Snap armbar. Look at him pull Tape's arm out of the socket. High-low action once again. K-Dogg dragging Opulence away from the ropes. Lateral press. Tape looking to steal it.
Pinfall.
And K-Dogg, he's absolutely dumbfounded. He's so winded from all the action, from all the heavy offense that he was taking throughout this bout. And it looked like Tape almost passing out from the exhaustion of this intense opening three-way dance. Dropping down in a perfect position for a lateral press. K-Dogg realizing too little, too late, that another championship opportunity has just slipped through his fingers. And there we have it here, folks. We have a Twitch Championship bout confirmed for Ignition. January 31st, Revolucion defends against the role model Tape. And he has certainly earned it after one hell of an opening encounter here tonight. But coming up next, singles action as the Scrapyard Saint Solo represents Bunker Hill as they take on Parliament's secret weapon himself, Hosway. Solo looking in absolute lean, mean condition. This is the best shape we've ever seen him in. And we've always understood how well Solo performs when he's under the most pressure imaginable.
Mamacita.
But if you want to talk about personal pressure, Hosway looks to be in the eye of the storm as he's under personal supervision, where he has to be not just subordinate to the Monarch, but he has to be subordinate to Cory. We thought we were going to see him get kicked out of Parliament last week on Warzone. And it was only the word of Cory that entered that last second intervention. That saved his position, saved him from potentially much worse given who's in Parliament. Sunset flip from Hosway, trying to put this away quickly. Shotgun drop kick. Spinning wheel kick. He's looking to keep that pressure high here. And I don't think he has that much of a choice.
One.
Hosway tossing Solo out of the ring. He needs a moment to compose himself, to think and strategize his next maneuvers. Hook kick from Hosway. Reverse DDT from Hosway. Hosway in the driver's seat. And this is the fire that Parliament has been missing for quite some time. This is the fire that they claimed was missing from their monarch, their dearest leader, Oliver English.
One.
And now they are fighting like hell, not just to thrive, but at this point, this is survival instincts kicking in for Parliament as a whole. They finally get a little bit of leverage over Bunker Hill in this ongoing war. It's been waging on and on for well over 6 months at this point. And we thought for a certain amount of time, Bunker Hill, they were going to have a checkmate firmly secured. Corkscrew plancha over the top rope and down onto Solo.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
We heard it best from Cory.
13, 14.
You knew how great of a prospect Hosway was going to be when he decided to defect into Parliament and stab his mentor, Popcorn Poppy, right in the back. And sometimes you just have to wait to get a return on your investments. This could be the start of something proper here tonight. Moonsault attempted by Solo, but nobody home.
3, 4, 5.
Now Hosway looking to soar.
6,
Solo stepping aside.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Big high kick, courtesy of Hosway. Gonna go for another neck breaker onto the Scrapyard Saint. And he has taken the fight right to the Scrapyard Saint. He has been in the driver's seat. Solo has had plenty of opportunities to turn the momentum back towards his favor, but no luck so far. Bunker Hill could very well be going 0-2 here tonight. That'd be one hell of a rough start for the new year. If this is the way that it has to go. Popo losing that American Championship. K-Dogg being thrown out of the equation in our Twitch Championship contender. Solo could potentially take a crushing defeat here, courtesy of Hosway, if he doesn't play his cards correctly. And Hosway, he's a man that's achieved quite a fair amount in just a short amount of time. He's already been a Twitch champion. He's already challenged for the World Heavyweight Championship in his career. He certainly received plenty of opportunities with or without the involvement of Parliament. But this is all about personal vindication for Hosway. This is all about proving his worth to the rest of that KPW locker room. Look at Tori on the outside barking orders.
1, 2,
Yelling at Hosway to keep the aggression up. Solo getting suplexed back into the ring. Hosway looking to keep the pressure high. Looking to keep it going. Not allowing Solo any moment to breathe whatsoever. Waistlock transition. And oh my God. Solo just got dumped on his neck. Following it up with the angel dust.
1,
Covered.
3, pinfall.
And Hosway looking to send a personal message to the Monarch, proving his worth, proving his value. And this is one hell of a risk that Tori's taking. She's gonna have to keep Hosway on her leash here. And speaking of the devil, here comes the Monarch himself. He's got to be more than pleased with the results of tonight's bout here. A promising lead, but we know where that has gotten Parliament before. It's all about following through. It's all about the execution.
Fight.
And Oliver looking to pick up the scratch from Hosway. Solo just went through one hell of an ass kicking. And now he's left at the mercy of the Monarch. The more things change, the more they stay the same. This is exactly how we saw Parliament get started here with these two men all the way back in May. As Solo gets tossed out of the ring.
Get that Bunker Hill scum out of my sight. Now I can turn my attention towards the redneck, inbred, white trash lowlifes here tonight that consider men like him a hero.
My sentiments exactly.
Did your mothers raise you to speak to authority like this? I'm not here to stick a pacifier in your mouths. Your mothers should have done that instead of prowling the streets at night in the middle of her crack binges.
He's really riling up this crowd here. This could be he's trying to incite a damn riot.
I'm just gonna talk over you from here on out because the feed on this microphone is gonna be louder than anything you can hurl at me. Important business is at hand. Parliament is here to thrive in 2026. Bunker Hill may believe they've won the war, but here's the thing about wars, bruv. This isn't a dash, it's a marathon. Look at all the chaos unfolding here. This dump has never needed Parliament more than it does right now. It's a natural order, and our vision is so much better than the savagery and cowboy shit that needs to be tamed around here. But since we're shooting from the hip here tonight, here's a warning shot. Ding. I'm not gonna chase you down, you're gonna come to me because the alternative is so much worse. I'm not gonna wait all night for you.
This is how he wants to call out the dinger? Oliver English, you may have one hell of a death wish. Nobody's been able to get through the head of this man ever since Collision Course. And look at the cold stare in the eyes of the dinger. He has been a changed man for quite some time. He's been unequivocally changed for better or for worse.
While you have certainly changed, bruv. What happened to that cheery writer's rain lad that beat me for the world title? You used to have so much to say. So let me ask you heart to heart, because you've been quite the vengeful spirit lately. Are you searching for someone?
These fans know what Ding wants. They've stood beside him the whole way through. This is a revenge mission
Well,
for the
fortunately
icon.
for you, Ding, you happen to be in for some luck for once. I happen to be in quite the position to help you with your search. But if you want my resources and my contacts, you're gonna give me something first. I want you to get on your knees and pledge yourself to Parliament.
What?
You give me your loyalty and your manpower, and we will help you get your balls back.
What a poor choice of words from Oliver English. And look at the way that Oliver had to try and snake in that first strike on the dinger, and now he's paying for it dearly. Ding letting loose here on the Monarch here. Hosway, Tori, they're not intervening at all. The Monarch, he personally assured them that he was gonna find a way to keep Ding off of their backs. I don't think he had this in mind. Scorpion Ding drop on the stage. And Ding, he still wants a piece of Oliver English. That might have been one of the biggest mistakes the Monarch has ever made. Telling Ding that he was going to try and help him get his balls back. Ding has Oliver positioned. A second Scorpion Ding drop. Not even Chaos Control is here to try and stop this man from unleashing this serious attack on the Monarch. Oliver English, he's left to fend for himself. He's got to reap what he's sowing here tonight. And Ding gets one hell of a hat trick here tonight.
Knockout.
I don't think Oliver English truly had any intentions of helping this man. It was just another means to an end. Throwing out that meaningless offer, using the contacts to try and find the man that Ding's been searching for the past several months. These fans very well know the quest for revenge that this man is on. He is a vengeful spirit. He is a tortured soul. And he will not find any kind of solace until he gets his hands on the man that completely scarred him all those months ago. But if any team knows about battle scars, if any team knows how to create scars, look no further than the First Nation Slarty Shuko coming up next. Tag team action as they take on the now former KPW Tag Team Champions, The Scheme, in just a few moments. We want to talk about units that have seen their plans backfire. Look no further than The Scheme. Look no further than Steven Gilbert, the director, the man that they've chosen to join forces with. We saw The Scheme get called in to screw over Pierre Cinema out of that World Heavyweight Championship match at Toxicity nearly 2 weeks ago. Pando gave the director the beating of a lifetime last week on Warzone. They really went the distance against one another. And it wasn't a good night for The Scheme last week either. Hot off the heels of winning the KPW Tag Team Championships at Toxicity, they made their first defense a buzzer beater defense against Ricky Rhombus, Bam Dardino, the Bam Bus. And I don't think anybody saw that coming last week when we saw the Bam Bus finally end their streak of bad luck at some of the highest stakes imaginable. Ricky Rhombus, Bam Dardino, our new KPW Tag Team Champions to kick off the new year. And they got one hell of a team that could step up and take them on. Come Ignition on January 31st, our next monthly special event. Shuko with the flying crossbody right in the middle of the ring. We saw these two last week on the Holiday Hell edition of Warzone. Shuko, Slarty, we saw them pick up a win over Popo and Solo, representing Bunker Hill. A much needed step in the right direction after having to give reparations to Popcorn Poppy at Toxicity. Finally leveling that playing field, finally equalizing the score. Shuko, he could be putting this away real quick. Michinoku driver. Oh my God.
Count two.
And Bloom barely popped the shoulder up after that destructive Michinoku driver, and now the big man's in the bout. If that was the pain, the suffering, the torment that Shuko is willing to inflict Think about what Slarty is going to be able to do. Think about all the ways that he's going to be able to twist and contort both of these guys into a million pieces here tonight. Sidewalk slam by Slarty. First Nation, they've been looking for another chance to become tag team champions here in KPW. Ironically enough, when they lost the tag team championships, it was to Bunker Hill.
8, 9, 10, 11.
I guess fair is fair when you account for tag team championships and fractured necks. Arm elbow tie up, Slarty throwing Bilko out of the ring once again.
2,
Tossing him to the proverbial wolf on the outside.
4,
Sigma Shuko.
5, 6,
Fall away slam by Slarty.
1.
Bilko is still the legal man. He's spent a lot of this time in this bout outside of the ring. The only way the scheme can remain in contention for tag team championship gold is if they can beat the First Nation, but that's not looking very likely after that pop-up Samoan drop. Stun gun from Slarty. Looking to set him up for the silencer, maybe. And he drills him with it. He's letting Shuko get his share of the action now. They're looking to take their sweet time with this bout. They are looking to make an example here tonight out of this scheme, and that'd be one hell of a way to do it. To physically break the now former tag team champions en route to a match against the current tag team champions, the Bambus. Forearm strike, but Shuko's right back up on his own 2 feet. Irish whip into the corner. And Shuko doing whatever he can to make sure Bilko can't tag out. Bloom trying to get in position as far away as he can from the corner as possible. He's still holding on to that tag rope, by the way. Schoolboy looking to steal it. Signal arm DDT from Shuko. And Shuko, he's got to pull him away from that corner. Double power bomb. And Bilko gets right back up. Oh, he's gonna make him regret that decision. Another double power bomb. Looking at his tag team partner in the eyes. And only a 2 count as Bloom was able to break it up. You're seeing the fight or flight instincts of the scheme operate in real time here. Bloom finally gets the tag. And it's something that he's been meaning to get for quite some time now. And just like that, whatever advantage of freshness that Bloom was looking for against the First Nation, it's been completely neutralized because Slarty has taken the tag here. He is now the legal man. Shotgun drop kick. Sending Slarty over the top rope and down to the floor. Bilko looking to use the First Nation's own strategy against them. Not a bold idea at all.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Now 14.
15.
Bloom's the legal man. Slarty
17.
taking his focus on the wrong member of the scheme here. Slarty with the 2x4 wrapped in barbed wire. He clocks Bilko with it. We know how the disqualifications work here in KPW. Only through time limit draws, countouts, or outside interference does a match get called and thrown out. Amidst all the chaos, it appears the referee Slapthigh Jones caught the tag from Slarty to Shuko. Bloom with an enziguri counter to Shuko. Bilko gets the tag. That barbed wire 2x4 is still in the ring. Assisted pile driver onto the 2x4. Nice reversal from Shuko. Shuko turning his attention to the legal man. That's why they call him the mastermind of the First Nation. A master strategist is Sigma Shuko.
3, 4.
Bilko outside the ring. He's the legal man. But Bloom, he's getting double teamed
7.
by two of the most dangerous men in the tag team division. As this bout is quickly spiraling out of control. And Slarty gets the tag. More tandem offense from the First Nation. Double suplex. Cover.
1, 2. Count 2.
And oh, just barely beating that 3 count is Bilko. Pile driver from Bilko. Bloom picking out his spot to tag in. He gets the tag. He just leaps into action quite literally. Waistlock counter from Slarty. Big headbutts to the back of the head. Bloom had no way to brace for that impact. He had no clue when the hell it was coming. Stun gun from the War Machine. Wristlock, but Slarty has one hell of a reversal to get out of it. He had one hell of a showcase of athleticism there. I'm absolutely stunned in disbelief. I never would have imagined that Slarty was capable of such physical acumen like that. And here he is doing it once again. It's not a fluke. What an absolute beast of a man Slarty is. Just when you think you've seen everything from both of these men in the First Nation, they find new ways to come here week in and week out and surprise the Kumite faithful. as we are in week 93 of War Zone. Less than 2 months away from hitting that 100 episode milestone. And these two men, Slarty, Shuko, they've been a consistent tour de force the whole way through. Shuko go for a line saw, but he landed on the barbed wire. As he had to pull that barbed wire out of his chest. You can see the lacerations forming on his gut. And he's fighting through the pain. He still has quite a bit of adrenaline left. And Bilko going low. Bilko getting his comeuppance. Double power bomb. And Shuko using one of the oldest tricks in the book, suckering in Bloom towards his corner of the ring, right into the waiting arms of the War Machine Slarty. But possibly has the largest arms in all of KPW. What makes that running lariat so devastating, the silencer. And we've seen him hit it from just about every imaginable position. And that's exactly one of the things that makes Slarty so dangerous, is what made him a hardcore champion, a Twitch champion, a tag team champion. And it's brought him extremely close to him becoming a world champion. Handle bomb. And only a 2 count. As Blue keeps up the fight. Bilko trying to intervene. And I think all it did was piss off the War Machine. Big power slam. And that is one hell of a way to herniate a man's disc. Tag made to Bilko. Bloom getting in one bit of offense. That head scissors takedown. Drop kick from Bilko. It's already catching the forearm. Opening him up for some chops. Hurricane Rana. Slarty counters into a sunset flip. And this could possibly go any worse for the scheme. The fact that they've survived this long is starting to work against them here. Slarty looking to put this to an end. Looking to finally show some mercy. As he tries to decapitate Bilko with that top rope. Chin breaker, courtesy of the War Machine. Shuko tags in. And Slarty, he's just absolutely relentless. He's buying Shuko as much time as he needs.
Right.
Shotgun drop kick to the knees of Shuko and finally takes him down. And these two men, the First Nation, they have spent so much time as of lately having to force their energy and focus on resolving things in the past. It is finally time for them to start reinvesting into their futures here in KPW, and they are looking to stake their claim early here in 2026. We all know the march towards the spring stampede is officially here. Our first major stop, Ignition, January 31st. There's nothing that these two men would love more than to recapture the tag team championships at Ignition and hold it long enough to make it to the Stampede. Pump handle bomb, and Bloom kicks out of it again. And still to come here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the main event of the evening. A KPW World Heavyweight Championship contender starting hook in the leg, and another breakup from Bilko. Our main event still to come, of course. Pierre Cinema looking to earn his opportunity back to make the main event of Ignition a triple threat bout for the World Heavyweight Championship. All he has to do is beat the King of Stego Style. That sick, that twisted, that absolutely unhinged Cory Sinclair in our main event here tonight. Big boot from Slarty. There's no interference allowed in the main event whatsoever. If anybody steps in to interfere on behalf of either party, their jobs will be officially terminated on the spot. As the KPW Board of Directors, they look and seek to avoid another toxicity scenario. And who could blame them on that front? Ladies and gentlemen, while we're talking about who might be able to contend for the World Championship at Ignition, we're also coming to find out from the KPW Board of Directors that there will be at least 4 men that can step up and get an opportunity after Ignition. And these men will all be qualifying for this shot. Before we get to that titular event, we know now from the board of directors that 2 of those men representing Parliament, Hosway, and the other man representing Bunker Hill is Popcorn Poppy. But regardless, we'll be seeing Popcorn Poppy in action next week against the Diamond Dragon himself, Opulence. This would be a great opportunity for Opulence to turn the momentum around, finally pick himself a big W in that column. Overhead strike from Shuko. Bloom Gang double teamed by the First Nation. Waistlock transition, German suplex. Bridging position. Also to come next week, singles action as Greek Machismo. Nick Flawless takes on the record breaker, one half of the Boise Boys, David Rush. We also now know that the Monarch, Oliver English, will be in action. And this could be one of the opportunities that he's been looking out for quite some time. A perfect chance for him to get closer to exacting that great vision. I don't know if he would want to try to do that again, considering who's holding the World Heavyweight Championship right now. But it's another opportunity. It's a chance nonetheless that Parliament can't refuse to gamble with. Also, still to come next week on Warzone, we'll be seeing the Bam Bus, the tag team champions, in action.
1, 2, 3.
Against Big Bernard, Headband, Tommy Tanks, the Influence. In just 7 days' time. Big uppercut from Slarty. Bloom trying to go for a shotgun drop kick to the knees of Slarty. Slarty stays on that vertical base. Drop toe hold from Shuko. As Shuko gets the tag. Arm elbow tie up. Shuko thinking a headlock. Bloom counters it with a back body drop. Side suplex from Bilko. Sorry, trying to distract the referee. And this would be one hell of a comeback for the scheme here. If they can overcome the odds, if they can find their way through this madness. Leg lock onto Shuko. Is he gonna make him tap? And Shuko hangs on. What a war this has been between both of these teams. And how apropos is it for both of these teams to be fighting with this much intensity? First Warzone of 2026. We saw how badly Slarty will take things to the extreme before over the course of the past year. Who could forget how we kicked off 2025 when Slarty took on the Viceroy Jedi for the KPW World Heavyweight Championship at that point in time. That match was an absolute bloodbath.
2, 3, 4.
All four men outside of the ring.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Oko getting back inside the ring. Slarty looking to meet him in there. Swinging neck breaker from Slarty. Shuko keeping Bilko up. I mean, Bloom occupied. Pardon me. There's absolute chaos and pandemonium in this tag team bout.
1, 2, 3.
If I'm having a hard time trying to call this, I can't even imagine what the referee thinks. I can't even imagine what Slapthigh Jones is thinking. Trying to maintain the order inside the ring. Bloom being ordered to return to his corner. A forearm strike takes Shuko down. Oko looking to move in on the knees, trying to make Shuko tap. And Shuko, he's quite possibly one of the strongest submission specialists here in KPW. Slarty as well. Slarty's ability to lock in a good submission, it goes very understated when he's so much more renowned for his raw power and his brute force. Snap suplex to Shuko. Shuko kicking that barbed wire 2x4 out of the grip of Bilko.
1, 2,
And the scheme
3.
looking to keep Shuko as far away from his tag team partner as possible here.
6,
Brainbuster on the 2x4 courtesy of Slarty.
9.
Look at the way that Bilko's favoring that neck. We are down to the doomsday clock here. 2 minutes left and counting. Slarty, sit out, gut wrench, cover.
Count 2.
Oh. And Blue, being right where he was at that moment in time, saved that bout for the scheme. He thought for sure that was going to be it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This could very well go to a time limit. Draw is certainly within the realm of possibility at this point. 1 minute left on the clock and counting.
10, 11,
Slarty
12.
bringing it, introducing another 2x4. How the hell are these fans getting this past security? Oh, it might come down to the wire here, folks. 30 seconds left on the clock. The scheme. They're looking at a potential championship rematch slip through their fingers. Passing through like dust in the wind. Shuko lets the clock run out.
Time up.
And the First Nation have made their point here tonight. Going out of their way to exploit the scheme here and expose them. As the First Nation, Slarty, Shuko, they continue their war path. They continue to invest into their future here. And they are certainly on the radar of the current tag team champions. Bam Dardino, Ricky Rhombus, otherwise known collectively as the Bam Bus. But coming up next, our main event of the evening, a KPW World Heavyweight Championship contender. Cory Sinclair already has his opportunity locked in for ignition. Pierre Cinema was screwed out of his opportunity at Toxicity. And now he has the chance of a lifetime. Who knows if he'll ever get this opportunity ever again. Pierre Cinema has no choice but to fight his way back into a rematch, with the odds even further stacked against him. But as I understand, coming up next before we get down to ringside, our resident interviewer Roger, he is standing by with the KPW World Heavyweight Champion, the Siberian Silver Bear himself, Pando.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm standing beside the man that has a target on his back leading into ignition on the 31st. The Siberian Silver Bear, the KPW World Heavyweight Champion, Pando. Pando, is there an outcome in our main event you look forward to the most?
From the very beginning, I've hungered for competition. I don't give a damn what the odds are and how they can work against me at ignition. What matters is the fact that no matter the outcome tonight, neither one of those men understand their position. This isn't a fairy tale story where the valiant knight takes the head clean off the dragon. I grow back bigger, badder, and stronger than ever before. Cory, let's talk about your outcome. You beat Chris Billy, you beat the Sauce, and now you gotta beat Pierre Cinema to get me all to yourself. Is that a battle you're prepared to fight? You should check your head first before you decide to take a swing at me like you did at Toxicity. And then there's poor little Pierre. He needs his rematch cause the film industry is catching back up to him. I don't give a damn about his drama, Roger. What's gonna happen is that if he wins tonight, he's got lower odds of beating me than he did last month. What he and Cory doesn't realize is that no matter how the numbers split up, I get more chances to whoop both of their asses. I don't care who makes it to ignition, the message is all the same. On January 31st, you're just another personal conquest.
Strong words from the World Heavyweight Champion. He has no pony to back in this race. He doesn't care if this is a singles bout. He doesn't care if it could be a triple threat. What matters to him is the thrill of the hunt. And he would love to get his hands on both of these guys. Pierre Cinema. He's been in quite the bit of turmoil ever since the fall. Consistently locked up against Steven Gilbert, having to overcome the odds time in and time out. And as of recently, it has only proved to overwhelm him at this point. And what an opening that is left up. Because now Cory Sinclair looks to capitalize and looks to take on the Siberian Silver Bear all to himself, all by himself at ignition on the 31st. Main event action here in our first War Zone of the year. As we continue and begin our march to the Stampede, our biggest event of the year, coming March 28th, the third ever edition of KPW's Spring Stampede, where we can officially kick off year 3 of the home of fighting spirit. And our first stop in that march to the Stampede, ignition, January 31st. Cory Sinclair already has his ticket punched in for a world title shot against Pando.
3, 4,
But here tonight, it's all about
5.
the odds here. Are the odds in the favor of France's greatest export, the star attraction, Pierre Cinema? Cory Sinclair raking the eyes of Pierre Cinema on that top rope there. feeling every single bit of that burn. Spinning heel kick from Pierre Cinema. Cory Sinclair swatting away the challenger like a fly. Big headbutts. You've seen the entire demeanor, the entire attitude of Cory Sinclair change seemingly overnight while he was trying to conquer a man-beast. And now Pierre Cinema, he is busted wide open from that rolling wheel kick. Raining down blood from that lacerated forehead of his. Time is definitely not on the side of Pierre Cinema here tonight. Cory Sinclair, he is very firmly in the driver's seat here tonight. And look at him, he is completely dictating the pace of this bout. He's making it much more slow, much more methodical, trying to exhaust that adrenaline that Pierre Cinema is trying to drum up here tonight. Look at the leg, only a 1 count. Big drop kick sending Cory Sinclair through the ropes. Cory Sinclair walking that top rope with precision balance here. Big chop on the way down. And Pierre, a last-ditch effort, feeling Cory Sinclair off that top rope, and now he is looking to pummel the hell out of the King of Stego style here tonight. Another rolling wheel kick. Pierre Cinema, he's got to be careful at this point. He's got to tread very carefully around Cory Sinclair if he wants a chance of challenging for that World Heavyweight Championship in just 3 weeks' time. Falcon Arrow from Cory Sinclair. Looks to the gut of Pierre Cinema, pardon me. As Cory zeroes in on the head of Pierre. And he is absolutely gushing here in the center of this ring here tonight. He is, by every stretch of the imagination, wearing that crimson mask. A spinning heel kick, but Pierre catches the foot this time. The action spills outside the ring. Pierre Cinema getting some much needed time to recuperate. To get his bearings straight to try and get as much of a breather as he can here. Gotch style pile driver on the floor.
12, 13.
Cory Sinclair pumping the brakes, etching himself with the top and middle ropes there. And he's got the reflexes of a cat. He knows instinctively how to make sure he can land as safely as he can, time in and time out. Running right into a sleeper hold by Pierre Cinema. And Pierre Cinema, he's feeling it. This is as good as a chance as he's ever gonna get here. Starstruck DDT. Cover.
1, 2, count 2.
And Cory Sinclair beats the count. And that should tell you what kind of tale we are encountering here tonight. How drastic of a difference this is. What we saw just now was what some of the most meaningful offense that Pierre Cinema was able to get in throughout this entire bout.
5.
We've seen Pierre Cinema successfully defend the World Championship in times immemorial with that Starstruck DDT. And it still wasn't enough to put down Cory Sinclair.
12, 13, 14, 15.
Pierre Cinema letting those fists absolutely fly.
17.
Out of 17. Cory Sinclair stepping away from the apron, trying to restart the count here. And what a strategy
4,
from the King of Stego style, baiting Pierre Cinema into that handspring moonsault, knowing that he would take the bait, knowing that he would take the risk, because Pierre had no choice but to. This is a tale of desperation for Pierre Cinema. It is not very often where we see Pierre Cinema in a state of vulnerability like this.
break.
But Cory Sinclair, he's just undeniably been on another level ever since he completely snapped over the course of the fall. Triangle hold onto Pierre Cinema. Is Pierre gonna pass out? And he makes it to the ropes with whatever strength he has left. Knife edge chops, holding the arm in position to recoil and back up. And this isn't a smart idea for Pierre Cinema to try and get into a striking exchange with Cory Sinclair. He's one of the most unorthodox strikers here in all of KPW, and you're gonna try and predict his offense? You're out of your freaking mind, Pierre. Big back heel kick from Cory Sinclair. Cory going up high, double knees, Meteora drilled right into Pierre Cinema. And Pierre runs right into a back body drop courtesy of the King of Stego style, and that might be it. And no, Pierre keeps fighting. This is how much the World Heavyweight Championship means to the star attraction. And at this point, you almost have to believe that it goes so much further than just the material possession. Pierre Cinema would love nothing more than to spite the director, Steven Gilbert,
3.
by getting yet another opportunity at the World Heavyweight Championship, another chance to become a 2-time World Heavyweight Champion.
4, 5,
Here going for another handspring moonsault. And Cory taking the time to mock the Kumite faithful. Dragon attack, but nobody home. Cory Sinclair's favoring that back on the outside. And finally, there's another moment of weakness for Cory Sinclair, but he's not making those opportunities come often. They've been very much few and far between. Another rolling wheel kick for Cory Sinclair.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And look at how Cory mocks Pierre Cinema, pulling with him. All the pressure in the world right now is on France's greatest export, Pierre Cinema, in the center of the ring. Running senton from Cory. The odds just continue to go from bad to worse for Pierre Cinema. But he's not gonna quit so easily. He doesn't have the mentality to quit. The only way you're gonna get him to quit is if he just can't physically go anymore. You have to literally incapacitate, damn near kill this man in the center of the ring just to make that difference. Swinging DDT onto the kendo stick, cover.
1, 2, count 2.
And Pierre still has some fight left in him. Rapid fire machine gun chops in the corner. Look at the welts beginning to form on the chest of Pierre Cinema. Reverse suplex face first into the kendo stick. That's gonna leave a mark tomorrow morning. Flying crossbody. And that's gotta be it.
2.
Cory Sinclair goes to ignition by himself, and no, he does not. Not at all.
2, 3.
Pierre Cinema's opportunity,
4,
his chance to make things right,
6.
is still alive. Running kitchen sink, double foot stomps. Cory's starting to get a bit agitated here, getting a bit frustrated. Look at choke him out. And these fans here in the Kumite Forum, packed, stacked, and sold out till kickoff 2026. They're starting to get feverishly behind Pierre Cinema. As Cory Sinclair doing everything he can. He's looking to be the source of some serious heartbreak here tonight. Center of the ring, that's gotta be it. Pierre Cinema's out. And no, he's not. Pierre! Still has the heart of a champion. And Cory Sinclair, he's looking to rip that heart right out of his chest. Spinning wheel kick from the top rope. Nobody home. Pierre Cinema sang him up perfectly. Indian deathlock.
Break.
And Cory Sinclair right at the ropes. As the onslaught, the beatdown continues for Pierre Cinema. Pierre Cinema running right into another Falcon Arrow. Springboard moonsault. Crossbody taking down Pierre.
1, 2, count.
Looking to move
2.
quick here. And Cory still can't get the 3 count. He's getting really frustrated in that ring. Look at that. He's looking to shift things into a second gear here tonight. His frustrations, his temperament is reaching a fever pitch here tonight. But what a counter by Pierre! Cory Sinclair, he gets the shoulders free. Another vicious rolling wheel kick. But Pierre, time in and time out, he's getting right back to his feet.
1, 2.
Cory Sinclair just trying to snap the neck of Pierre Cinema. I can't believe what we're seeing here tonight. The legend of Pierre Cinema, he's looking to soar high here tonight. As Cory Sinclair, he continues to plunge further and further down. Double knees into the back of Pierre Cinema. And Pierre running right into it. Meteor strike. And for some reason, I don't think Cory Sinclair thinks that would be enough to put him away. He's looking to seal the deal. Oil spill. He knows for sure that it's got to be done here. There's no kicking out of that. Now what a fight Pierre Cinema put up here tonight. He fought so damn hard for so damn long. Much longer and much further than anybody could have ever expected him to, especially after how quickly he was busted open in this bout. But that opening was all Cory Sinclair needed. And I hope this is the competition that Pando was craving for come Ignition. Because Cory Sinclair has officially punched his ticket in for January 31st. A catch as catch can singles bout for the KPW World Heavyweight Championship on January 31st. And that is all the time we have here tonight, folks. I've been Tapey Styles, the only man that can call the action right down the middle, flying solo as always. And we'll be seeing you next Monday night for another thrilling edition of KPW War Zone.